Let me share my screen. Why does it auto cancel my speech? I don't know. All right. I just invited you again. Yeah, no worries. All right. So this will be the kind of like overview of the platform and kind of where I stand on it and how I want people to kind of move forward using it. Hello, Yim. So
Hello, hello.
before market open tomorrow morning, your screens will look like this. I have a dedicated dev site that I use, obviously, to to test things before it gets to my lovely patrons. So I have essentially made the decision to go ahead and give you guys the entire options order book. Before it was hidden, and my system would say, hey, this is an interesting strike. We're going to put it up there for you guys so you can make educated decisions on the market. But I have come to the conclusion that I think I just need to give you guys everything. And then we will go as a family forward. Because I'm getting a lot of questions about when to trade to the magnet. I'm seeing that the challenger is X. When do we do X? When do we do Y? This is perfect because now we can all just see the same information, right? So essentially, what we did, or what I did, is this is the entire GEX chain or options chain from QQQ broken down onto the NASDAQ. Okay, that's why they look perfectly spaced out because they are perfectly spaced out. Okay. So essentially what you're looking at here is this is how our magnet and our challenger get derived. We just look at the options chain per strike and we get this. Now I get it in a very unique way. But a lot of people just use 0 DTE strikes. I use an aggregate of many days to expire to get these certain levels, right? So instead of waiting for price to hit a call wall, price to hit an X, price to hit a poopy wall, we are all just going to have the same information in front of us. We're going to be able to see the options chain, and we're going to be able to make smart, educated decisions moving forward, okay? So, for example, right, before you couldn't see how much, let's say money, I think that sounds like the dumbest way to put it, right? Yeah, it sounds like the dumbest way. How much money is sitting at this strike? But now this number is not inflated. This $351.1 million, that's real cash. Okay?
Let's say volume.
Yeah, we can say volume. Yeah, monies. Yeah, let's just put it into volume terms, okay? So now we can kind of put into our heads, like, why does this strike matter, right? Why does it matter? And then we can also look at it when the RTH session opens. This product is best used between the hours of 9:30 to around 11:30, and it is very, very good from about 9:30 to 10:30. I'm not saying that the potency falls off. I'm just saying that due to how the Greeks operate, certain Greeks take over the longer throughout the day that the market's open, right? So the fresher the options are, the better, okay? And also the more volatile, right? So, for example, if we wanted to create a trade idea coming into the magnet. I'm not saying we're going to the magnet right now. I'm just saying we're trying to be like beep boop bop RTH trade idea, right? So we're trading up and we see this strike here at 85 and a half. Now, in 30 seconds, you will see these levels update and you will not only see them move, but you will see how much premium, very good by the way, whoever, that was a much better term, thank you. How much premium is sitting at this, and you will see if this number goes up or down. So you will see if the interest at this level will be, fleeting or increasing, right? So let's say, for example, price is trading up and you're maybe getting FOMO and you want to try to limit this level, but you see that this level here is gaining interest, okay? Gaining interest meaning that its premium velocity is picking up. You'd be like, okay, maybe I just want to sit and wait for price to interact with this level, right? And then form a trade idea back down to the magnet. Maybe this interacts with it, and then the premium keeps building, and eventually it turns into a call wall, right? So that's kind of why I wanted to give everybody the entire options chain so that we can all make educated, good trade ideas. The next thing I want to be clear about, and I have to switch over to an easier to view one here, is the way that I always have treated the magnet or the challenger is that I like to form my trade idea based around one of the two. Typically, I'm always looking to trade towards the magnet, but I'm not always in my head like I need to trade towards the magnet. I just like trade ideas better when they're towards the magnet, but just because the magnet's down there and we're selling off a little bit, does my narrative line up with it? Have we, swept liquidity, or have we created a change in the state of delivery? At least for me, right? I don't teach you how to trade here. I just teach you how to gather the narrative enough for you to pull the trigger based on your own system, right? And that's kind of like how I go about things. Oh, let me read this. Yeah, Sean, thank you for the premium thing. That was helpful. So furthermore, the right side panel will be getting a rework, but for now, the backdrop should be all that you need. You will see that we are in a negative gamma environment. Dealers are selling dips. They're buying rips. We're trendy. All right. We're chilling. No worries. Okay. Next, you will see hotspots. These are very cool. These are the most interesting strikes in the chain. And you will also see that most of them, funny enough, are very deviated from the mean of other strikes around them. Like, I wonder why this has 234, and a quarter dollars in premium, and this only has 40, right? Worth to know, right? So I just wanted to give you guys every single tool possible to be able to make the most educated trade possible. And you'll also be able to see the magnet, if it's decreasing or if it's increasing in strength. And then you should be able to get even better entries now. You should be able to just be like, hey, like, this isn't a call wall yet, but it's lining up with maybe a level that I like, and I want to limit this level, or I'm seeing a good reaction out of this level, and now I can trade back up towards the magnet, right? And you can also see these, they're not necessarily quote unquote pockets, okay? These are just areas where there is not enough premium to validate a level to exist. My frame of reference was around $10 million in premium, and there's not enough here. So maybe that's saying that the market doesn't have any interest in being up there, or maybe it's saying that when we do get up there, we're just going to fly through it. I don't know. I don't see the future. You know what I mean? What, did I freeze? No, I shouldn't have. Yim, did I freeze?
He's not moving, guys. He's not moving.
It's not moving?
No. You are not moving the screen. They thought it was frozen.
No. I'm not moving the screen. Wait, can you see my mouse moving?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, we're good. Okay. I was like, how many fucking issues?
You were locked in on explaining, and they thought you were.
No, I was just having an autistic rant. And this is also like some things that we need to talk about as well. The pivot here is going to be essentially, if it's below this, inherently bearish. If we're above it, inherently bullish. Okay, and it is not a magnet per se, but it is like, what's the best way to put it? It's essentially like a polarity point of the market, and it is very, very reactive. For example, yesterday's pivot was right here at the very high of the day, and for some reason I had a rendering issue that wasn't showing it, and I felt really bad because I could see it on the dev site but couldn't, have it on the production end, which made me feel really bad and really sad. But instead of giving you guys like arbitrary levels that, the system spits out, I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to give them everything. You know what I mean? So is pivot like VWAP? Yeah, go. You can go. Yeah, we'll go with that one. There you go. I like that. That's perfectly fine. And tonight also there is going to be a toggle here that says essentially like, this is going to be your default state, okay? And then there's going to be a quote unquote swing state that will show you the longer time frame magnet, not like the anchor, but the higher time frame magnet and the higher time frame challenger, for example, like on a weekly basis. And then there will be a much longer one that is much even longer than that. And then there's going to be an option to where you could say, hey, I want these same levels here, but I also want to add the weekly magnet and the weekly challenger on my chart too, and be able to see them as well. So I'm really just giving you all the tools. I'm like, I'm not going to gate anything behind anything. I have full faith in everybody that's using this tool to make smart, educated decisions about their financial future. Essentially.
I want to say something. Guys,
Yeah.
when he says the magnet, trade towards the magnet, this is a key word, by the way, because I've seen a lot of people that just look at the magnet and they just full port to that side. No. Or they just have their TPs on the magnet and I heard your stomach. They fail to reach the magnet. Trade towards the magnet. It's just a directional guidance. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking like, let's say the magnet is up there and we are starting to build some bullish order flow. Why would I? The question here is why would I look for shorts? I shouldn't look for shorts. I should look for longs. If that makes any no, if somebody's like confused on what side to take, this the magnet really clears the fog.
Yeah, like let the
Don't
market tell
yeah,
you
don't
when
just
it's ready to trade towards the magnet, essentially. Is kind of like how I'm
exactly.
viewing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for example, if the magnet's down here and your entry model is a change in the state of delivery, for example, but you pattern traded a lot, right? You could be like, "Oh, I got a 1 minute change in state up here. I want to take it down to these lows." And prior to not having the magnet, you wouldn't know that the magnet's up here, so why would you take a change in the state of delivery? But now the change in the state of delivery, now the magnet's down here, maybe with these, juicy lows here, for example, even though I don't necessarily believe in low resistance liquidity, it just helps you build that narrative. And this whole platform is literally a narrative engine. That's all it is. I'm really trying to help you guys look at it and be like, I'm ready. I want to form my trade idea, and I love the confluences that I get from this tool. It is a tool. I think I did that okay, right? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
We
like,
usually
for
joke about like when you made your previous I'm sorry but to cut you off, but this is
you're
important.
fine.
On your previous indicators, we used to joke about, oh, I'm full porting this box. Oh, I'm full porting this signal. Now, I am really serious about this because this tool is one of the best tools I've ever used in my life. Not gonna lie. I am taking it very seriously, and I'm taking it seriously even when it comes to jokes. I'm not joking when it says, "Oh, full port this Gex level to the magnet." No, don't do that. This is not the way. This is not the method, and will never be the method. Um, don't like don't take one side of the market, which is like the magnet, and just take it blindly with no risk management. Everything still aligns, everything still falls into the trading rule. This is just a helping tool, a help like a guidance to know where we are most likely to go.
Most likely with the very most likely. So, like for example, right, and
Oh yeah.
I think this will, and Sean, I will get to your question in a second. I think it was very good, and I also know the article that you're talking about. So, for example, I think this morning was perfect, and when the replay feature is up in a week or two, you guys will be able to. I'm trying to see if my kid is still watching TV. I think he is. This morning was a great example of what Yim was trying to get into here, right? So we opened up here. Okay, we swept this high. The magnet was shifting down lower. Okay, I think it was sitting about right here. So what Yim was talking about is I never TP on the magnet. I typically don't even trade with take profits these days. What I'm doing is just I'm always targeting the direction of the magnet based on how I like to trade. How I like to trade is I like to take sweeps of highs. Typically, I like to turtle soup highs based on my own criteria, or for example, an OTE trade based off of, I think this was a box, I'm not entirely sure. And then we could see that the magnet kept dipping down lower here, right? Because I can remember from my memory, there was the magnet kept shifting down lower. And then right when we got about here, the magnet shifted up here. It was up here, right? And this is a perfect example of what me and you were saying earlier. That does not mean the second this candle comes down, because this does look bearish, it's bearish structure, we want to immediately flip long. You wait for the market to tell you that it wants to even maybe take a hint of going long, okay? Because this is very dynamic. The magnet can switch if it wants to every 30 seconds. It doesn't. But like mathematically it's very possible. It's actually very impossible, but like it could happen. I'm just saying. So for example, the magnet comes up here and then you see this large displacement with this change in state delivery. Maybe it's you telling yourself, holy fuck, like I probably want to get out of this trade, right? I probably want to get out of this trade and then wait, if I'm still short biased, to take another trade down to where the magnet is down here, right? That's kind of like how I want you guys to view this, is like, where is the market being pulled to and what is the market trying to tell me in relation to the magnet? Was that it? Did I do? Yeah, I think. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah, I think it should be pretty clear.
Yeah.
Also, these levels that you see around, um, treat them as support and resistance levels.
Yes, these are
They're
SNR.
pretty helpful.
These are SNR, and they're very good SNR.
Very good SNR.
Very good
Yeah,
SNR. Very, very good. I still don't get the challenger roll in
just keep that in
regards. So the
mind.
challenger I specifically made because a member of my beta test said I'm not sure when to take the magnet because it used before the challenger the magnet used to flip all over the place and we had no idea where it was going next. The challenger's only role is to protect is to have you already in your head that the magnet can flip to the challenger. Okay, it is not something to I don't want to say it's not something to trade to because it can be used as that. But for example, all last week you saw that the magnet was being used as a launch pad, okay? Because it can be used as that. The equation for it doesn't state that it has to be the point of polarity. It just states that it is what it is, right? I don't mean I'm not gonna go into what it is, but
It's a magnet.
yeah, it's just like the center point of the options market for that day, right? And it moves up and down and however, right? But like on a day like I got all the candles working too. Was it this day? It was this day. This was like last week. I remember was it this day? I think it was. No. It was this day, I think. It was something like this. So like we opened up and came up here and the magnet stayed down here and the challenger was way up here, right? And we were in a very positive gamma environment, okay? So maybe now after seeing this, you can be like, hey, like I understand we're in a very bullish market. Maybe now I can understand that the magnet is being used to propel price instead of pull it and target the challenger. Now I am working on things to help better align that with your narrative with a little tag saying like the magnet is currently pushing price and not pulling it. But that does take some time to get completely correct because I don't want to push something out to you guys that says don't trade towards the magnet because like you know what I mean. I want to make sure that this thing like if I ever give something to you guys like it's perfect, right? And like Yem said, these are very good support and resistance levels. These right here are very, very good. It's the most compact level of all options premium. Sure. Could be. It's almost like what would it be like in ICT terms or like volume terms? I don't even know what it would be like in volume terms. Do you know, Yum? Like what you would classify? I don't even know. The only reason the challenger exists is to help you
Passive.
understand where the magnet could flip to. I think.
Let's say it's a very unfinished auction lined up with passive walls.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
That's the best I can explain it
That's
when
the
it comes to
best. Yeah.
order flow terms.
Which things are good support and resistance? Yeah, you're fine. These levels right here that have the strikes on them, the 57, any of these can be used as support and resistance. Now, I wouldn't just use any run of the mill ones, right? I would maybe look for one of these glowy boys, for example, because they also pull the market, right? Not the magnet isn't the only thing that can always pull the market. If we start trending downwards, especially at night, okay, especially at night, and we blow through the magnet, maybe you're targeting this large premium concentration because there's a lot of hedging here, right? Maybe you could do that. These are just pretty much built in like support and like the best support and resistance you can get. Like I don't think it gets much better. At least in my opinion, it doesn't. Yeah, such as where the money is. This is literally telling you where the fucking money is. Like it really is. Like for example, if like you're trading Bookmap, this would be like the fattest, gayest green bubble of all time. Like this green cloud down here on Bookmap would almost make your screen blow up with how green it is. I think like with passive buyers, I would say. And if you are shorting towards it, you'd be like, hey, it's probably going to go down there because there's a shitload of passive buyers, right? Is that okay? That was good. That was good. I think I did a good one on that one. Yes, there will be volume profile. Eventually, I want to make it clear to everybody for the roadmap, especially if you are even remotely considering the lifetime, is this is going to eventually be a full replacement for Bookmap for all of the tools that you could possibly use for trading. It's just we got to take it. I got to take it. I'm the only person working on this. So like I got to take my time with it. Right now it is only options based. So yeah, it will be yeah, linking brokers. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, everything. Yeah, everything. Everything. Yep. Yeah, everything. I want it to. I want this to be like the singular platform. Now that is the like it replacing volume
He
stuff will
wants it
be.
to be the new JP Morgan.
I just want people if they're trading to be like, hey, where can I go to get this? And they're like, just go, just get a sovereign analyst account because you can have your volume stuff, or you can have options data, or you can draw your lines, or you can do whatever you want.
Or you can get money.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now the volume stuff probably will not exist in its full in its final state for like a year. But volume profiles are halfway possible right now. But I don't even want to consider working on them right now because refining this is the main objective at the moment. Not refining it as in it's not done. It's perfectly fine. It's just like making it as easy as possible for someone to pick up and use.
It's not prioritized right now.
Yeah,
There's still things that are prioritized and under development.
exactly. Did you answer what to do if ES and NQ are opposite? I would just sit out if you can't decide. In my opinion, the S&P will always lead the way. Period. It's the S&P, right? So if you're gonna pick and choose one, if they're misaligned, if you're like, hey, the ES magnet's down here, but the NQ magnet's up here, I would be very very hard pressed to not just use the ES magnet because the S&P 500 literally is the stock market pretty much. So and it has like for example, you can even see the strike difference. Like you can see here like how much more money is fed. Like look at this. This is almost 4 billion in premium and this one's only 400 million in premium. So you can just see the difference in how much money is being traded on ES. I think that will really help you guys understand like how much money is sitting at these levels. And there is far more money in the options market than in trading liquid stocks or like futures. Like most of the money and how the market moves is almost always through the options market. Almost always. You'll be able to see them before the market opens tomorrow. And I think this is something that you guys would really want to see. I didn't want to try to gatekeep anything from you guys. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to give it all to you because I think you guys will start to understand really like how much money is at these levels and like what draws a level because eventually in your head you'll be like, hey, like you can even see here like this is put premium, this is call premium. Like how does the market react to these differently? Like if there's put premium above price, like that's a little strange, right? So like maybe this is acting as a good point of resistance, which it is, right? So like these are things to start to like think in your head of like, you know, how is the market reacting off of these things? But at the end of the day, you are trading towards the magnet. And I think, as I said earlier, using ES as your primary North Star, because this is $4 fucking billion and this is just $400 million, might make a little bit more sense. Wouldn't you agree, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been trading GC this whole time, so
I know. Oh, also, gold is coming very, very soon. Very, very soon.
yippee.
Also, yeah, so the boxes, if you do lack an entry model, the boxes are on TradingView. A lot of people rave about the boxes. They seem to really like them. I think they're halfway decent. They're very good. Very, very good indicator.
I mean, it was built. It was built with autism, and we both know what that means. So
Does anyone have any more questions? I think I really should. At least for me, right? You have to understand, like, I built the platform, so sometimes the questions that you guys have, I don't even think of, which is why I have you guys to maybe say, hey, like the guy who helped me create the Challenger doesn't even trade options or brought the idea up to me to make the Challenger doesn't even trade options. Yes, the playbook section is gone because everything will live in here, so like you don't even need to worry about it. Plus, Um, I don't want people to like be switching back and forth between the chart. I think like now that I've outlined to wait for the market to tell you when to trade towards the magnet or when to trade towards the challenger, I don't even think there's a need for the playbook anymore. I think it was just kind of a dead feature because I want you guys to really focus on the chart. I don't want anyone flipping back and forth just for the sake of me saying there's an extra feature on the website so I can justify like anything, you know. Now, if you do want it back, maybe we can add like a playbook section into the Discord. I think that would be really cool. But like on the website, I don't think there's any need.
It's getting really late for me. I'll have to bounce.
All
Good luck
right,
to you
brother.
guys.
Alhamdulillah.
Bye. Peace out.
Peace. No, the money's not collected. The money is only collected if the option expires when price is at it. So essentially, the way it happens is market makers have to hedge. For example, when if we got above this call wall here and price kept going, they have to buy futures contracts to stay net positive or like essentially net zero to hedge their short position in the options market. That's essentially all that is. Yeah. Yeah, I can make a more in-depth version of the yeah. The because the JP Morgan thing is the reason why we had that like 3 month range because they were forced to sell whenever we got up to the call wall and then they were forced to buy whenever we got put up into the to the put wall way down there. And I'll have a feature probably soon, like a radar or something, to be able to see when large institutional collars are made. So would you target past those levels? Yeah, because like these aren't something that like when it hits it, these get liquidated. That's not how it works. That market makers don't have like stop losses here, for example. That's why I don't TP at the magnet for for a good reason. So does everyone think? I hope everyone's gonna be happy with the new level outline and everything. And now you can kind of see why ES would be more of a North Star than NQ because everybody and their mother trades the fucking S&P. I'm just always trading directly towards the magnet via my own strategy. Don't want those to be hit. No, no. I mean, fuck it. They can be hit all they want because the market makers don't really give a fuck because they're selling the call. Like that's that they're short. They're like when they're selling it. So as long as it doesn't expire here, they don't give a fuck. Okay. So like they're short here. So and it works a little bit differently. And I can like go into a call at another time when I have more time. But like it doesn't really act like a sell limit or anything. It's mainly because sell limits would imply that there's not an active position here. There, like you can't hit the options market without actually transacting. Yeah, Sean, I can. I can do that in just a second. Absolutely. Trader guy, I told you you could just schedule a call with me. I'm really not like I am a busy person, but like if you are paying me or to either A, teach you how to trade or B, a service that I provide, I'm more than happy to take any time out of my day to make sure that you see the most success that you possibly can. I'm not a selfish person with my time. And I hope my friends could vouch for that as well. But like I said, I mean, I think the lifetime is a steal. I probably should make it more, but at the same time, it's like, you know, in the future, the I think the platform's going to be amazing. It's very early stages right now, which is great, and I'm having so. I know, like good investments. I'm having a lot of time, a lot of fun, and just making this product as good as possible for everybody. You know, because now is a time where like I can really be like in the weeds with everybody and like, hey, what does everybody want to see? How is everybody doing? Yeah, yeah. You just let me know, Sean. I'm more than happy to take any advice from anybody on implementations for the website. Absolutely. I'm a very open minded guy. I don't have an ego about it whatsoever. I mean, how can I make it the best possible thing for someone to buy if like I never take advice on someone who wants to buy it? You know what I mean? That wouldn't make much sense. Um, yeah, I can do that, John. That's fine. But anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna head off here. I did record this whole thing. I hope. Yeah, I did. So we can go back and watch it, or you can go back and watch it. You will have these levels before the market opens tomorrow. I promise, and they will even be upgraded because you'll be able to see the up or down symbol here, and you could even see like how much premium has been added or subtracted from these levels. But in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely night. Okay, bye bye.